Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds. In this video, we're going to show you all of the features of this 850-pound honey bottling tank. And I'm really impressed with it. So let's kind of do an overview of what it has to offer. First of all, just check out the size of this tank and look at this plate down here at the bottom. It's made with stainless steel, 304 stainless steel, and it's 16 gauge. And that bottom plate looks even thicker than that. I am really impressed with the strength of this tank. I've got several other pieces of data and equipment, but this is the first bottling tank that I have purchased from them, and I'm really glad that I went with them. It's USA made and tough. So over here, this is where the immersion heater will go. This is a really nice immersion heater. For those of you who have used these before, they're powerful, they're nice. I have two other ones, and I love these immersion heaters. They're just really nice and strong. So we'll have to wire this up here in a little bit, but basically it just goes into the tank, into the second outer tank, and warms the water. For those of you who don't know, it's always best when you're bottling honey to have a water jacketed tank. So there's actually an inner tank, and then there's the outer tank that has water in it. We'll be showing you the inner tank here in just a little bit. So I just love the fact though that this has a nice bottom to it. It's not just the walls, or it's not just the bottom. Some of them only do one or the other. I've seen some of them where it's just the bottom, but this one goes all the way around it with that water, and it has about 9 inches before you get to that inner tank. And that gives you that nice heat from that water. Because that's the thing. Let's say we're setting this for 95 degrees for our honey, or 100 degrees, whatever it is. When this thing kicks on, it's not kicking on to 100 degrees. It's going past that to warm whatever it is immersed in to get to that level as quickly as it can. So the water takes the abuse, and that's going to warm up quickly, and then it's going to radiate that nice temperature that we want into our honey. But this is a nice immersion heater. These are great. And this is another feature that I wasn't expecting and I love, is the sight glass here. It's not as big as some of them. Some of them go down 3 or 4 more inches. I actually like that it's not so long. That means there's less areas that you can hit it, because that actually is glass in there. And I also love the fact that it's encased in this nice brass housing, and it's really harder for you to break that glass. And it's not that hard to buy a replacement and just pull that out of there. Well, if you have fingernails, you can get that out pretty good. I'll let Laurel do that. But yeah, I really like this sight glass right here. And when we get this all put together, we'll show you our bottling system. Let's get over here to the main attraction. So this actually did not come with it. This is another valve that I had. I'm actually going to use my easy fill on this when I get a chance to rig that up. I wanted to kind of show you what you can do right here. And so just push this down and it just fills up a bottle. It's so great. I'll show you how to use this as well as the easy fill when I get a chance, but let's take this off real quick so you can see. It's got a 1-inch, got it on there really good. Got a 1-inch threaded valve, and so this is the bottom of your honey tank, and it just it's really nice having all that bottom space down there, so it'll warm that honey quickly. Where all the granulation goes, and that's one of the problems when you're trying to degranulate a bucket or a barrel or whatever it is, all of those heavy crystals like to accumulate at the bottom, and so having that heat coming from the bottom is a big deal. And we just brought this in from outside, so this is just a little bit foggy, but this is our thermostat. One of the things about this immersion heater right here is that you know, it can go up to like anything pretty much within reason, 250 degrees. So we want to set it around 100, but we also have this to double check and make sure it is where we like it. Also, this is something I wasn't expecting. These are extremely heavy duty handles, and a lot of tanks don't have those. When we were moving this thing around, those things were lifesavers. So I really loved that. By the way, we got this nice table right here. Isn't this nice? So you just roll that on around and just spin it. It won't be that easy to roll, let me tell you, when we get all that water. I'm going to measure and write down below how much water goes into this outer tank, and of course we'll have 850 pounds of honey. So what Laurel is showing you right now is where you put the water into the tank. It's important that it's open like that because, again, this immersion heater can get up to 250 degrees. So at that point, things are boiling. And if this was threaded and shut, and so was the other side and everything was, and you accidentally bumped this and went to 250, you'd create a steam grenade, basically. So this is a relief. If it gets too hot for whatever reason, the water can come on out. Obviously, that's not going to be an issue because we'll be careful. But we're going to put a cup of bleach or Clorox down into here with the water. Just if there's anything a little dusty down there, or in the future, it'll kind of help make sure that water stays clean. And then I'm going to put just like a little rag right in here, not stuff it in, but just kind of hold it in place. And that way, the water is just not kind of going off into the air and we're losing our water level really fast. Down here we have where if you need to drain the tank, you can take out that brass plug and just drain it. So it's pretty, again, it's a simple design. Got the outer tank, the inner tank. I'm going to show you here in a second. I'll drop this off the table. Not all by myself. I'm not that crazy anymore. I used to do that kind of stuff. But anyways, I'm really impressed with this tank. There's one thing though that I think could have been made just a little bit better, but I'm really glad I went with the Dadant tank overall. It's going to be a really nice addition to our bottling. 850 pounds is going to be great. We'll be able to keep up with our honey orders that just keep getting more and more all the time. And Laurel does a lot of the bottling, and Kathleen's starting to do quite a bit now. So this is just going to help speed things up. And let's show you that inner tank because we want to see where that honey is going. Lastly, I wanted to give you a bird's eye view of this Dadant tank. It is really nice on the inside and the outside. The stainless steel construction is just really, really nice. Heavy duty. Can't wait to get honey in this and start bottling. The only thing that I'm not the world's biggest fan of is the lid. It doesn't seal all the way. The edges are a little bit rough. It is cool to be able to look through it. It just doesn't quite fit the edges super well. It almost seals, but it's not quite there. So out of everything on this, which I think it's an excellent tank, this is the one thing that I thought could be improved upon a little bit. And sure, it's going to cost a little bit more money to get a tighter lid, but I'd be willing to pay that myself. Anyways, it's just a gorgeous tank. When we get some honey in it and we hook up the bottling system, we'll show you that, and it's going to be a blast. I'm going to leave a link below where you can see this on Dadant's website. They have all different sizes of tanks, and Dadant makes a lot of different things that I like, and the stainless steel stuff that they make here in the US is some of my favorite. Dadant smokers, and now a Dadant bottling tank. So we'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.